Hi, this is Debbie Fisher. Today I want to show you some ideas that you can do with nylon loops. You can find the nylon loops at Hobby Lobby. You can get a bag, it comes with hundreds of these nylon loops. You can also find them at Michael's, but they are a little bit overstretched and they are more expensive, so they just tend to work better for if you're working on dexterity or giving someone a project because you are wanting to improve range of motion strength. These tend to work a little bit better if you get them in the bulk section of Hobby Lobby. And really what they are they're for the they're for your pot holders. So if you've ever done one of those pot holder loops, then you just place them on there. So one idea that you can do is finger weaving, and here's an example of what it will look like after you have them do this repetitively. Why would you want to have them make something like this? You can have them, make a little bracelet, like a little friendship bracelet, which is significantly easier and faster than that really small rope or string. You can have them, if it's a girl, you can have them make like a headband, a choker, a belt, or like even a long yoga strap. So there's a lot of different uses that you can motivate them to really use their hand. And this requires, full supination when you're having them do it. And just notice too when I show you the video, or you can modify it into doing it full pronation, but also abduction of the fingers. So I'll show you the close-up of how to do the finger weaving. So here's the close-up of how to do finger weaving. So why again do we want to do this? Well, for a lot of reasons. I'm an occupational therapist, and the roots of our profession is really in crafts and giving someone an activity that has meaning, and that it's not just a rote exercise. They have a product to actually go home and show people that they've done that. So it's not only meaningful, but you can also work on visual scanning, working with pediatrics, like talking about the different colors, maybe color recognition, crossing midline. So with handwriting, we like to have them cross midline, so you can arrange it so that you're working on a number of different things. If it was a speech, then talking about having them talk through and teach maybe a puppet or a doll how to do this. So just a lot of different ideas. So what you would want to do is you want to take your first loop, and you're just basically going to make an X between each of the fingers. Now it really doesn't matter if you go the same direction or if you want to alternate the direction, so don't get hung up on that. So see, in this position here, I'm having them go into full supination, so I am kind of cueing them to keep their elbow by their side if that's what you were working on with supination. You're working on abduction of the fingers. I'm going to do the exact same thing, but I'm going to do it proximal to the other or distal to the other one. And the only thing you have to do to start the weave is just literally take the bottom, the one that you initially started with, and then they have to keep their fingers, in extension the entire time, and abduction. So see how that is only left with the second color. So I'm going to make a pattern here with red, green, and blue. So again, I'm just taking it, and it doesn't matter if you switch directions or go the same direction, but you're going to place it on the fingers here. If they had an amputation of one of the fingers, you can still do this. You just skip it. If they had a lot of CMC pain from arthritis, you don't have to include the thumb. You can still do a finger weave without aggravating a joint. Maybe they have something else where you were concerned not to to aggravate it. This is also, if you think about it, it kind of works on desensitization. So because you're really having them you're having them bring the cloth over the sensory nerve endings on the tips of the fingers. So you see, as you proceed, it gets a little bit more taut. So it's a little bit more challenging, and if it's too challenging, you can always bring it the ropes a little bit more distal. But if your goal is to have them really work on some of those intrinsic muscles, then this is what we're doing. So you can kind of see the start of the pattern. But you're just going to keep repetitively doing it, placing it over the thumb and looping around the other fingers, and making sure you don't get so far to the tips that they all fall off. So you can start with the thumb or start with the pinky. And this is just the same thing I've been doing. I just kind of pull it down a little bit. Now, if you wanted to have them do it in pronation, you could have had the whole thing flipped, and you could have started here and then had them do a sustained pronation activity. But we chose to do it in supination for this particular finger weave. So again, just always pulling from the bottom to the top. Now I want to do enough of these so that you can see how to stop the activity if you needed to take a break. So I'm going to run through a couple of these a little bit quicker. And you may find that some of these loops are a little tighter than the others, which like right now I'm feeling the muscles in my hand. I can feel my forearm muscles, and I can also feel some of the muscles in the palm of my hand. So that's, again, one of the reasons you want to do this. Okay, so we're going to loop the green one, just like that, and then pull them over the fingers. And let's see where we're at. So let's see how much we have already. So we have about this much. You can kind of see the pattern there. So we'll do one more, and then I will show you, if you have to pause or if you're finished, how to finish that off. So you're going to bring it just like this, pull it over the fingers. Now, if for some reason you were pulling it over and you accidentally pushed off both of them, it's really not a big deal. I'll show you, like if that happened, you just pull it back on the thumb. But in this case, I'm actually going to pull off the one of the thumb because I want to show you how to conclude it. So you're just going to place the one of the thumb on the finger, and then place the bottom one over, and then loop it around this one here. Grab the one from the bottom over on the top, and then place it to the other finger. So this way it's not gonna come unthread. Okay, and then the last one of the pinky, you just want to kind of grab it and pull it like this. So although it's not very long, you can still see the pattern of where it started and then where it stopped, and then you can kind of stretch it out from there. And if you wanted a thinner rope, like if it was for a bracelet, you could always cut these in half. Or even if you wanted to even make these loops, you could take pantyhose and actually make it a scissor activity and cut through the tights, actually not pantyhose, but tights. So this is how you do a finger weave, and this is why you do a finger weave in any kind of a clinical setting and how it can be therapeutic.